Yeah, closer than my friend when you're in me, darling. Is it finally on? Oh boy, looks like it. Is anybody in the comments? Can you all hear me? Oh boy, this thing give me all kinds of trouble. AG, how long ago did you put that? Is anybody here right now? Like presently? Who can hear me? Type yes in the chat. This thing been giving me all kinds of problems. Girl, you're my angel. You're my love. Closer than my friend, you're really, darling. Watcha. I'm trying to. This thing is really, really getting on my nerves tonight. This thing is really getting on my nerves tonight. I don't like one thing to give me so many problems. And this today is a whole lot of problems, more than I bargained for. Oh, Jesus Christ. Cause you're my angel. You're my darling angel. Y'all can't hear me now? I hope y'all can hear me. Because this thing is giving me all kinds of problems, man. But anywho, problems or not, the show must go on. Yeah, am I a little bit too? Is that better? All right, AG's in the place. How are you doing? Lord of mercy. AP changing name again to AP the Sweet Candy Cupcake Girl. No more Halloween girl. It's now Cupcake Girl. How are you doing, AP? Good to see you. I'm still in the background, but in the kitchen taking care of. Go ahead, my love. Oh, yes. Go ahead. Do what you do, my darling. Do what you do. Silver Dollar is in the house. No problem. No problem. Welcome. Welcome, guys. Thank you all so much for coming. Boy, the trouble that I've gone through just putting this thing. Because you all see, I was sat in here in a long time. It's been a long time. You only seen me sit in this office here doing lives. And so I decided that I was going to use the spaces for the purposes that they were intended for rather than be occupying other spaces. And boy, I tell you, the challenge I've been having since this morning, I don't know. Right now on my desktop, StreamYard refuses to come up. Don't know. On my laptop, StreamYard refuses to come up. Keeps telling me wait. They can't load this. So I'm like stuck between a rock and a hard place. My desktop is not on, my laptop is not on, and even my phone is acting up. But anyway, we are here, and it doesn't matter what's happening. We are going to do what we gotta do. Correct, guys? Right. We're gonna do what we gotta do no matter what. So here we are. We are going to be doing the Thursday evening. Our third, oh Lord, let me put one pillow back the back on the chair here, because the chair have one pillow, but the pillow, show the pillow. The chair have one pillow, but the pillow no pillow at all. It's a pillow, but oftentimes it's not pillowing. You know what I mean? You all know what I mean? I need a string to tie it around here so it stays in one spot and stays in the center of my back. Yeah, like that. Yeah, but whenever I move, it moves too. So anywho, we are going to be doing our Swords in Hand / Bible trivia, guys. Don't forget, get your pen and your pencil and whatever else you have, and come on out and let us play a little game for the next, say, hour and a half, somewhere around there. Now, y'all remember that we have been reading the Bible, and it's only fair that every now and then, it's only fair that every now and then I pop in a little quiz here and there. Yeah, God. It's only fair that every now and then I pop in a little quiz so that I can evaluate how much y'all remember. Jesus Christ, why does somebody have so much trouble, brother? So that I can evaluate how much you all remember, how much we all remember from the stories that we have been reading in the Bible. Okay, so I want to say welcome to everybody in the live. Thank you all so much for coming. AG, AP, AG the Bona, AP, Silva, Arilise, and whoever else is there in the background. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I sincerely appreciate you all. All right. So should we wait for more people to come in, or should we just continue so that the people who are here will start winning before the people who are not here yet comes in? Because we have some people like Shay and Antonique and Card and people like those who, when they come in, they blow everything out of the water park. They come in, and before you know it, they start getting all the answers. And once they start getting all the answers, it's like game over. It's like game over, I tell you. I'm still trying to see if I can get my desktop to behave like I want it to. But anyway, yeah. Winsome is here, and also Kim is here. Welcome, guys. Thank you all so much for coming. I hope you all are ready. I hope you bring your brain game to the, to the show tonight so that you can win. All right. Last week, Shay won last week, and we had to congratulate Shay on that win. That was a great win. And Kat was the follow-up. She was right on Shay's tail. And tonight, we are going to be having another exciting game. All right? If you don't have no game brain, don't come to mess up the stuff. Make sure I have a game brain on. All right, guys. So let us begin. Who is ready? You ready, Kim? All right. If you are ready, let us begin. Me never get any from April. Oh, you know, win nothing from April. You know, win nothing from April. Then you know, if you win some, over far make you no win. Me, Kim said, Kim said she will just listen. Kim said she will just listen. All right, go on listen, go on listen. But we're gonna get on with the show. We're going to get on with the show. Ready? Set, go. Now we're going to be doing some questions from the books that we have read recently. And I might tap something else in. There's a lot of like Psalm and Ecclesiastes and Proverbs in there and Songs of Solomon. Yeah, let's see how much you all remember. And before we kick it off, there's a 5-point question to start. There's a 5-point question. Name the man who was allowed to walk around with his butt naked for the first 5 points. Who can name the man who was allowed to walk around? But we sometimes war from before she go away. With you are not alone. I am here with you. Answer the question, Sister Winsome. Sister Winsome now rapping me now. Sister Robert Trevor come this evening to come drape you up and calaboose you. OMG. Come on, guys. Yes, Sister Kim is telling you, don't forget to like up the live, to hit that like button. Do not forget to hit the like button. Name the man who was allowed to walk around with his butt naked. Yes, Arelis, get it. It was Isaiah. Yes, Isaiah was allowed to walk around with his butt naked. And that's for the first 5 points to kick off the game. All right. Next. All right. For another 5 points, name 2 people. This is for 5 points. Name 2 people that we have read about who attempted to rebuild Jerusalem. Name 2 people who had attempted to rebuild Jerusalem. Name 2 people who had attempted to rebuild Jerusalem. Name 2 people who had attempted to rebuild Jerusalem. And you must give me the 2 names in the same response for me to consider your answer. Name 2 people who we have read about. Name. Ah! 2 people who attempted to rebuild Jerusalem. Name 2 people Okay, now go download it. Oh Lord. Name two people who attempted to rebuild Jerusalem according to the Bible. Name two people who attempted to rebuild Jerusalem. Let's see. So Arlie says Tobias and Geshem. Not to my recollection. Wasn't Tobias one of the opponents of the rebuilding of Jerusalem? And Geshem, wasn't Geshem wasn't Geshem the handyman? Wasn't he the handyman for, I thought Geshem was the handyman for, well, let me look and see. Geshem was the handyman for the prophet, I believe. Hold on, let me look, because I don't want to say something. I believe Geshem was the handyman. Yeah, and Geshem was an Arabian. He was one of the people who was not in favor of of Jerusalem being rebuilt. Yeah, so he was not for it at all. And I know for sure that Tobias was an enemy of the Jews. He never wanted the kingdom of Israel to be reestablished, him and Sanballat and the others. Yeah, so those are definitely out of it. Zerubbabel and Jeshua. Zerubbabel and Jeshua, not to my knowledge, but because let me see who Joshua. He was chosen to be the high priest, but not for the rebuilding. And Ezra was the priest, and he was with Nehemiah for the rebuilding, but the person who was tasked with the rebuilding at that time was Nehemiah. Nehemiah was the person tasked with the rebuilding. And Zerubbabel, yeah, I don't remember any, and I don't see anything here that says that Zerubbabel was tasked. I know he was a governor. He was a great governor, but not tasked with rebuilding, rebuilding Jerusalem. You know, the Bible is always very specific about the people who were tasked. Jojo, what's up? How are you doing? You know, the Bible is very specific about the people who are being tasked with rebuilding Jerusalem. And when it talks about those people, it goes into details about those people and the task that they had at hand to rebuild Jerusalem. So even though there were prophets and priests around them and scribes and other people who were mentioned, the people who were tasked with rebuilding are usually referred by name. Somebody said Nehemiah. Yes, remember Nehemiah was sent all the way from Syria by King Artaxerxes to go rebuild the city of Jerusalem. And certainly he left with that intention and he went to Israel with that intention to rebuild Jerusalem. Also, Ezekiah. Ezekiah was tasked with rebuilding Jerusalem. And remember when Ezekiah tried to gather the people around to come and to rebuild the city, to come and to help him to rebuild the city, when the king of Syria heard about it, he gathered his friends, his Syrian friends, and everybody to go up to Jerusalem and go and warn Ezekiah and tell him that he better dare not rebuild the city of Jerusalem back around here. We do not want them to establish any power around here anymore. And the messengers went, they told the guardsmen who were sitting on the wall of Jerusalem, they were standing guard, and they mocked them. They said, "You're God. Don't you see how many other kingdoms I knocked down around here? Don't you see how many other dynasties I've destroyed around here and taken over the land and the people and everything that is of any value?" And those people, they are gods, and their gods didn't protect them. Why you think that your God is going to be able to protect you? And Hezekiah went and prayed. And in the morning, 185,000 of the men who had surrounded Jerusalem, getting ready, just ready for the order to go and break down the walls again and break down the temple and slaughter and slay everybody. 185,000 of them were dead. Okay. So anyway, we're not going to dwell on this too much. We are going to move right along. Our Elise has garnered the first 5 points. And so we are going to be moving right along. Yes, when the Samaritans, the Samaritans stopped the rebuilding project, the Arabians stopped the rebuilding project, the Syrians, the Lebanese, all of them were so against the Jews rebuilding their city. They were all considered to be enemies of the Jews. Okay? They either stopped the rebuilding or they worked together to stop the rebuilding of Jerusalem. And if ever one side of wall was built, they did everything they could to break it down and drive out the Jews. That's what the Jews had been dealing with. That's what the Jews had been dealing with their whole lives. They had to be hold on, the people. Right here, some offices kind of. Mercy God, what's going on here, man? Mighty God. Baby. Why every time you go in the sun, you turn black. I mean, to them, the outer door and the sun, the outer door and the sun, dig up and move up and change up and you know, say it a come on to it's a fall season. So me I take out some I like the flowers, spot them, what get crisp and stuff, dash out the dirt, them dash them away. And so me pack them up, put them in the trash, all those good things. Yeah. So I was really working hard in the sun today. But anyway, we are going to continue. It's a pity me can't use my mouse, but we are going to continue doing what we do. No stress, no fuss. Okay? Yeah. So I'm gonna put the questions up on the screen for you all to see them and to give me the answers. So there we go. That is question number 3. Isaiah was a prophet during the reign of 5 kings, according to Isaiah 1 verse 1. Who were 4 kings of Judah that Isaiah faithfully served? Isaiah was a prophet during the reign of 5 kings. According to Isaiah 1 verse 1, who were 4 kings of Judah that Isaiah faithfully served? Come on, guys. Isaiah was a prophet during the reign of 5 kings. According to Isaiah 1 verse 1, who were 4 kings of Judah that Isaiah faithfully served under. And that is worth 4 points. That question is worth 4 points. Let me see if anybody come up with the answer. Let's see, what's the name of the 4 kings? The 4 kings. What was the name of 4 of the kings that under whom Isaiah served? That is mentioned in Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 1. Let me see if Aralise right. Aralise, I think you're right, you know. I think only 2 of them they're right. Let me look for the book of Isaiah. It's Isaiah 1 verse 1. Let me look for Isaiah 1 verse 1. Because if Isaiah was the prophet, I don't see how he served under himself. Yeah, I don't see how he served under himself. He was not a king, he was a prophet. He was a prophet. So let me see. Under Isaiah 1 verse 1, it's written right there in Isaiah 1 verse 1. So you have the answer right there in the Bible. Okay, so can I get the 4 kings in one response? Because now y'all sending me to go back up to go see you got it right. Can I get all 4 of them in one response? It's worth 4 points. Arely says Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Ezekiah. Yes, yes, Arely. Those are the 4 kings. So you know that Isaiah was around for a long time. And not only that he was around for a long time, he was a faithful prophet to all the kings. For him to have served all that time, he served under Uzziah, under Jotham, he served under Ahaz, and under Ezekiah. And I'm going to ask one question. What was the name of the Jewish king that came before Uzziah? What was the name of the Jewish king that came before Uzziah? Arlise got 4 more. What was the name of the king that reigned before Uzziah? Can somebody name me the king who reigned before Uzziah? His name begins with A. I can't see everybody running to Google, huh? What? Let's see what Google says. Andrea is in the house. Andrea, how are you doing? Andrea, what is the name of the king who served before Uzziah? And you know that had to be Uzziah's father. Name the king who served before Uzziah. Girl, you're my angel. You're my darling angel. Oh, my baby. Oh, my angel. You're my darling. Irene is here. Irene, I must say, dream you a dream. How are you doing, Irene? Good to see you. Good to see you, my love. Happy, it's what, no, it's Thursday night for me. It's already Friday morning for you. So happy Friday morning to you, Irene. Guys, there is Irene in the chat. Winsome said she went on a call. Winsome, who was the king who served before Uzziah? What was his name? What was the name of the king who served before Uzziah? What was the name of the king who served before Uzziah? I think I injured my arm. Nobody knows the answer? All right, we are going to move right along. We're not going to spend the entire time trying to figure it out. We're going to move right along. Okay? Now, next question. I thank you so much, Irene. I sincerely appreciate you, my love. You are a great supporter, and I sincerely appreciate it. Next question. What must a man do in order to have friends according to the Bible? What must a man do in order to have friends? What must a man do in order to have friends? What must a man do in order to have friends? Come, Sister Winsome, what must a man do in order to have friends? Do I need to give you do I need to give you the chapter, the book, the chapter, and the verse as well? What the Bible says, a man must do something to have friends. What did the Bible say a man must do to have friends? Let's show himself friendly. Yes, Arelise. He's got to show himself friendly for him to make friends. Wonderful. Arelise, you're on a ball today, man. You are on the ball. Next question. Because we don't have all night. I got a few more other things to do. Next question. Fear the Lord is the beginning of what? Fear of the Lord is the beginning of Fear of the Lord is the beginning of what? Fear of the Lord is the beginning of Girl, you're mine. Boy, Mr. Arely is just a go on with ourselves. So the beginning of wisdom. Very good, Arlies. Arlies beat you by a smickle, Andrea. Next question. Truthful lips endures forever. Finish that verse for me. Truthful lips endure forever, but lies truthful lips endure forever, but can I get the rest of that? Can I get the rest of that scripture? Let me see. But lying tongue lasts only for a moment. Oh, that's Arelise again. Yes, Arelise is on the ball today. Wow. Wow, Arelise is on the ball today, leaving the shaft idle. Let us continue. A wife of noble character. Arelise beat you again, Sister Andrea, by a little smidget. A little bit. The wife of noble character. Finish that question for me, that verse for me. The wife of noble character finish that one for me. The wife of noble character let's see who can come up with that answer first. Let's see if that's the answer there. What Winsome say? What Winsome says the answer? The wife of noble character is. Alright. well, she's all those things. She's honest and hardworking, and she is um worthy. But according to, we're gonna go to Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10. The wife of noble character is three words. The wife of noble character is. Finish that verse for me. It comes from Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10. From Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10, we find the verse that says, a wife of noble character is. Please complete that verse for me. You say it long time. When you say it with some, let me see. Me not see it. Which part you say it? Me not see it, Sister Winsome. I don't see it at all. And that's not what that verse says. That's not what it says, Sister Winsome. Not what Proverbs 31 verse 10 says. It says, a wife of noble character is. Finish the verse. Three words. Three words. A wife of noble character. Look up top of what I said. Let me see what you say. Wife of noble character is. Oh, me fit up on the wrong chapter. Maybe that Proverbs 31 verse 10. Hold on, there, Sister Winston. Let me make sure. Where you say? You send me the wrong chapter? No, sir, I don't think so. All right, in my Bible here, so it says 31 verse 10 says, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The wife of noble character is hard to find. It's hard to find. All right, we're going to scrap that. We are going to scrap that one. All right, that one was a doozer. Who is this? That one was a doozer. So we're gonna scrap it. We're gonna move right along. We're going to do another one. The world sitting tumble down. Tonight not happening for me at all. I don't know. I don't know what is the problem tonight, but tonight is not happening. All right, next question. Let's move on. What does Solomon say he leads in the way of in Proverbs chapter 8? What does Solomon says he rules in the way of? Solomon says he rules in the way of what? And this can be found in Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 20. What does Solomon say he leads in the way of? In Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 20. What does Solomon say he leads in the way of? Solomon says he leads in the way of righteousness. Yes, Sister Winsome, you got it. In the way of righteousness. Good. Wonderful. Okay. Andrea says about the still waters. I agree, Andrea. Different Bibles say different things, Next question, according to Proverbs, what comes out of God's mouth? According to Proverbs, what comes out of God's mouth? According to Proverbs, what comes out of God's mouth? Let me see, Sister Arliss. Sister Arlie says she said the understanding first. The righteousness we need. Oh, well, Sister Arlies, according to my raggedy device here, yeah, it's showing Winsome, then Andrea, then you. You gotta strike it a little faster, sis. I'm sorry. AG, what's up? How are you doing? According to the Proverbs, what comes out of God's mouth? Winsome say, fear not. No, no, Sister Winsome, not fear not. What comes out of God's mouth according to the book of Proverbs? Let me look at it. So when we do this, it always give trouble. You know why? Because the system sort of delays for some people and then it doesn't delay for some people. So delays for the time that it delays is not the same, because on your device you could be seeing your response to be before somebody else's, and then on another device it could be showing differently. Yeah. So I have to go by my device, and my device is showing Winsome, Andrea, then Arlies. Then Andrea again coming with the right answer, but too late. Yeah. So that's how it does sometimes, my darling sister, According to the Proverbs, what comes out of God's mouth? Proverbs 2 verse 6, while all are true, Proverbs 2 verse 6 says, for the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge, and okay. Oh my God. So how comes that the answer there? That the answer not pop up on my screen like that, Sister Arlie. It not pop up on my screen like that at all. So when you use the phone, it's different from when you use the that's by my screen, I sure. Oh, that's what is showing on your screen. The two answer. That's 808 and yours above. And my answer, I show. And my screen I show me time because I'm using the phone, not my computer. So it's Yard Foods. Bless up your nice clean self, sis. Bless up your spell. I want me to see Yard Foods did I cook again. Me see you downtown by Cyril. The woman rob you the Cyril Yard Foods. Let me see a little bit of Cyril what the woman give you. OMG. I want me to see you did I do again. Me did over there watch your incognito. When me never did incognito, me just did I use one different me just did I use me Still News account. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Yes, Winsome. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and what if you read again, Sister Winsome? According to Proverbs, what comes out of God's mouth? If you read it again, you said it before. AG says in there Suffolk. In there Suffolk a QVC pick up. Okay, coming up. So for people that on QVC a shop for Christmas. OMG. Mm-hmm. So, what me if you read again now, Sister Winsome? You got the answer. So now you are 2 points and Arelis at 12. Okay? Yeah, the two of you going on with yourselves. Ah, doing just fine, huh? Arelis has knocked everything out of the ballpark today. One more question. Let's see what that is. Wisdom cries in the public square to the mockers and the fools. What does she urge them to do at her rebuke? Wisdom cries in the public square to the mockers and the fools. What does she urge them to do at her rebuke? What she tell them to do? Uno better? Where so? Where say? And a two you get? How much? But if them come in before your sister win some, if them come in before you, yeah, me have to give the points to the first person according to my screen. Cause it wouldn't be fair, cause me not see everybody's screen and everybody could on everybody's screen, their response could come in on their screen before it comes in on anybody else's. And so I have to go with how it pops up on my screen. So, Osh, nobody shake your head too hard. Nobody shake your head too hard, Sister Winnie. Remember, say Sister Arlie's got the first two, and the first one was worth 5 points, and the other one was worth 4 points. Yeah, I'm not saying anything, Miss. Okay, Sister Winsome. All right, don't say a word. Just answer the question here, because I want it easy. Wisdom cries in the public square to the mockers and the fools. What does she urge them to do at her rebuke? When wisdom is in the square crying out to the people, what is it urging the people to do? What is it? What does she urge them to do? When I not hear pastor out the street in the public square crying out and calling out to people, what him tell them he needs them to do? So for all of you who have heard the pastors and the deacons and preachers and whoever else calling out to God and calling out to the people when they go out to preach, what are they calling people to do? What am usually telling people to do? To come to God, to do what? These questions from this side, kind of write the questions, them kind of little wonkered, if you ask me. But nonetheless, I appreciate them because at least they are enough. What pastor usually call the people to come and do? So this is like they are personifying wisdom. He says, wisdom cries in the public square to the mockers and the fools. What does it urge them to do? Wisdom say it urges them to pray. Well, that's not what the Bible says, but I'm sure. When pastor I call the cinnamon, another thing call them and say, "Oh, if you come pray." Why call them? What he wants them to come to do when he calls them? When you hear pastor out there preaching, uh, and just they call for their attention. He call them to do what? When he calls them to come to the Lord, why tell them to come and do? That's what wisdom is doing. What does he call the people to come and do? Yes, Sister Winsome, he calls them to come and repent. Isn't that for real? Isn't that what he always calls them to do? Come and repent. Next question. Yes. God can roll on in the place. But you're a little late, because if you win some response before me see yours. Hush. Next question. What makes a glad father according to Proverbs 10, verse 1? What makes a glad father according to Proverbs 10, verse 1? What makes a glad father? According to Proverbs 10 and verse 1. What makes a glad father? Let me see which of my travelers is going to get it. What makes a glad father? What makes Arely says a wise man? Winsome says a foolish son. A foolish son make him father glad, Winsome? Me not think so. Andrea said, gather and repent. I think Andrea's question was for the previous. And Andrea's answer was for the previous question. Andrea says, wisdom of his son. And for that, I'm going to give Andrea that score. Reason being, because Andrea said it just as it is in the Bible. Arlie said, a wise man. I'm sure she meant to write son, but I know how these phones are, and especially when you swipe spelling, it always spells its own thing. So I know Sister Arlie's woman that Andrea is finally on the board with that answer. All right, Sister Winsome, you came in at the same time with Sister Andrea, but on my screen she is on top, so I gotta give her the point. All right. Next question. One generation passes away and another generation comes, but the blank abides forever. What is that blank? Yes, Winsome, I see that you say a wise son, but your response of a wise son came in at the same time as Aurelie's, but yours was below and hers was a double. So it's remember, say me I look on my screen, Sister Winsome. Remember, say me I look on my screen, on your screen might be showing, say yours is on top of Andrea's, but me can't go by that because me can't see your screen. So me have to go by this screen. Me have to go by the screen that I'm able to see. You don't think so that is fair? I think that is fair, Sister Winsome. Come on, man. Nobody beat me so bad. No beat me so bad. One generation passes away and another generation comes, but the earth abides forever. Yes, Sister Aurelise, the earth abides forever. Beautiful. Let us continue. Next question. What increases with knowledge? According to Ecclesiastes. What increases with knowledge? According to Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 18. What increases with knowledge? According to Ecclesiastes 1 verse 18. Andrea says the earth. Oh, Andrea, that answer was right, but it's a little late. What increases with knowledge, according to Ecclesiastes? Sorrow. Yes, CAD is finally on the board. Yes, sorrow increases with knowledge. Next question. Next question. What does Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 14 says a fool walks in? That is missing. The Ecclesiastes is missing from right there. But what does Ecclesiastes 2 verse 14 say a fool walks in? What does Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 14 say a fool walks in? Finish that sentence. A fool walks in darkness. Yes, Sister Arlise, a fool walks in darkness. Next question. Remember, I'm going by my screen. So I know that some people have put in theirs, and on their screen it looks like they put it in first, but it's when the band brings it over onto my screen. Who wrote the book The Sun Also Rises? That's another one of those religious books. Like novels that are based from the Bible. Who wrote the book The Sun Also Rises? I'm going to hunt for that book. Yes, that are true. The answers are coming really fast, Andrea. You are right. I need to go hunt for that book. The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. Uh-oh. Okay, Arliss. Okay, Arliss, you got it, sis. You got it. You got it. Sister Andrea, it looks like you either got off and went to Google or something. When you come back, it is going to put you a few seconds behind. So you're gonna have to, yes, you have to fast forward your live, Andrea, because you are a little bit behind. You're a little bit behind, my love. Yes, so you have to fast forward your life because we are gone past that question already for which you are answering. And here comes Sister Winsome, the Ernest Hemingway. Yes, and Sister Arliss already got it. Got the answer. Next question. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun. Can we finish that? Can we finish that verse? There are 6 more words that are missing to complete that verse. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and 6 more words complete that verse. And with each of the words you give, that is going to be worth 6 points. It's worth 6 points. So if you can give all the words that complete that statement, you get 6 points. Let me see who's going to come up with that answer. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun. Finish that sentence for me, please. Say what? A man to whom God hath given riches and wealth and honor. It's 6 words. 6 words complete that verse. 6 words. Let me tell you where you can find it. Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 1. So if you go to Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 1, you should be able to complete this statement, this verse in the Bible. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and it is common among men. Yes, Sister Arlise, and it is common among men. Beautiful, my darling, beautiful. Next, who wrote the 1941 detective story Evil Under the Sun? Who wrote that? Evil Under the Sun. This 1941 detective story, who wrote it? It was called Evil Under the Sun. Okay. I know you meant to write Agatha Arliss. Yes, Agatha Christie wrote that book. And remember, we read an Agatha Christie book. Oh my God, what was it called again? Yes, we read an Agatha Christie book recently. What was it called again, guys? Oh my word. We read an Agatha Christie book recently. Which one was it? Which book was it again? Can anybody remind me? Let me see. What was the name of the book that we read? The Agatha Christie book that we read recently. I don't remember it. I remember the name of the book. Nobody remember the name of the book that we read recently. I'm not going downstairs to go look. If you all look on, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna go forward unless I remember the name of the book that I read, the Agatha Christie book. Oh my word, can you believe it? Agatha Christie's book. Nobody here remembers. I'm going to find it. on my lives, it has got to be. All I gotta do is go down my lives and we will surely see it. Lives. And see, so when I read too enough time, I don't remember what I read say. That is the part. I'm gonna just enjoy it at the moment. It was before we started reading that book by that we weren't going to. The book we read was Taken at the Flood. Y'all remember that book? Taken at the Flood by Agatha Christie. Next question. Now we're going to try to find this book called Evil Under the Sun. Let me just write this note here that I need to find the book called Evil Under the Sun. Okay. Next question, gentle people. Let us move right along. We don't have the whole night because Auntie Trev got other things lined up. What is better than a dead lion? What is better than a dead lion? What is better than a dead lion? That's funny. What is better than a dead lion? Who knows what the Bible says is better than a dead lion? A living dog. Exactly. A living dog is always better than a dead lion. Oh my gosh. Let us move right along. Next question. Who wrote the 1989 book, A Time to Kill? Who wrote that book, A Time to Kill? Who wrote that book? A Time to Kill. Who wrote the book, A Time to Kill? Anybody's ready with that answer? I don't know if me that wait on the computer. No. I know the computer not come on, Why, Jesus, what is going on? Why it behave so with me? I do not want that. I want Google. All right, Aurelie, John Grisham. God, you gotta move your fingers a little faster, honey. Andrea is a little bit behind. Andrea, you're gonna have to hop off and hop back on so that you can catch up with where we are at, because it is clear that you are way, way behind. And I'm sorry. Yes, Sister Winsome, that is the right answer. John Grisham. John Grisham is a good writer. What is the duty of man? What is the duty of man? According to Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13. What is the duty of man? What is the duty of man? According to Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Oh, you just fear God and keep his commandments. Yes, can you move your finger them fast this time, man? You move your finger them fast this time. Oh, that call me now. Miss not Miss Cleo. Don't call me now. I'm busy. I'm up on the live. Me can't bother to come answer the phone right now. Next question. Ecclesiastes 5 and 8 and verse 15 says that man has nothing better to do than to do what? Man has nothing better to do than what? And it gives you the book, the chapter, and the verse. So you have no excuse. You shouldn't get it wrong. Come on, people. All right. Arlie says, God's Ecclesiastes 8 verse 15 says that man has nothing better to do than to eat, drink, and be merry. To eat, drink, and be merry. All right, Sister Arlie. So let's the be merry, but we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it. And oh my gosh. So every man has nothing better to do but to eat, drink, and be merry. Oh Lord, there's a lot more we got to do. To what does Ecclesiastes say there is no end? To what does Ecclesiastes say there is no end? To what does Ecclesiastes say there is no end? Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 12. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 12. And it says, to what does Ecclesiastes say there is no end? Mr. We are going to do this for an hour and a half, and it look like some made up on the ball, man. Let me see who get the answer right. The making of books. Yes, Sister Arlise, the making of books. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 12 says, of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness to the flesh. Next question. Arlise, you knocked them out the ballpark today, sis. All right. What two psalms did David write during Absalom's rebellion? What two psalms did David write during Absalom's rebellion? What two psalms did David write during Absalom's rebellion? Y'all remember we talked about that when we were reading the psalm, that the psalm where, I mean, we hear the children of Israel crying out to their God, where is their God? And as David was writing, he was chronicling their cries. And he was also asking God to intervene for him because, you remember that his son Absalom was trying desperately to slay him. And so he was crying out to his God to save him from his own son. And during those periods of time, he wrote some poetry that were collected and put amongst the collection of writings that make up what we now know as the Bible. So David wrote those two poems when Absalom, his son, was trying to destroy him. And the question is, what two psalms did David write during Absalom's rebellion? Winsome said 3.5. What that means, Sister Winsome? Sister Winsome, what two psalms did David write? Hold on there. Okay. Let me see who gave the answer. Somebody says Psalms 3, Winsome said 3.5. No. All right, Sister Winsome, since you say 3, 3 is one of the answers. So I'm going to give you 1 point, Sister Winsome. I'm going to give you 1 point. Okay. Psalm chapter 3. And which other psalm? Which other psalm did David write when he was being sought by his son Absalom? Come on. God says 3 and 7. Yes, God. 3 and 7. Yes, Winsome, you got 1 point for the 3. And Carl got 1 for the 7. Yes, 3 and 7. He wrote those when he was, because remember, David always chronicled his life and what was happening to him. Next, he also wrote 2 poems when Saul was coming after him. Which 2 did he write when Saul was coming after him? Mm, no, not 23. 23 wasn't right. What 2 psalms did he write when Saul was coming after him? Can anybody remember? David wrote two poems in particular when Saul was coming after him. And even when you read those psalms, you get that feeling of dread. And also he was also he mentions Saul in those poems. Give me 2 poems. All right. Cod says 34. Yes. 34 is one. And what's the other one? Yes. Psalm 34 was one, and another one that he wrote when Saul was coming after him. Not 59, you're close, but not 59. Yes, Winsome, it was 34. He did right. Sister Desiree, you're there in the corner, watch me. I take me out of winding. Oh, this a call me. We can't answer the phone right now. Yes, it was Psalm 34. And there is another psalm that he wrote when Saul was coming. There's another poem he wrote when Saul was coming after him. How are you doing, Sister Desiree? Bless up your nice clean self, my love. How are you doing? It's in the 50s. That I'm going to say. It's in the 50s. Oh, wonderful, Sister Desiree. Wonderful. Yeah, I am here. In the 50s, Sister Winsome. I am trying to see if I can catch the swords in an Bible trivia in everything that we are doing here. With all that I've been doing, I finally catch it in time. And Sister Desiree says 56. Yes, the Sister Desiree. Yes, 56. Psalms 34 and 56. David wrote when Saul was hunting for him. All right. Let me see if there is another question, because me say, oh, 1.5, oh, 1.5, it shall be. Let's see. All right, this is our last question on the list. The psalmist often demanded God's justice and vengeance against an enemy. True or false? The psalmist often demanded God's justice and vengeance against an enemy. Is that true or false? Is that true or false? And remember, I am going by the person who is first on my screen. I have to go get help with this. All right, Cod came up with it first, saying true. Yes, when we read the psalm, we hear the psalmist. They keep calling for God. Where are you? Why are you sleeping? Don't you see the enemies are overtaking me? Um, Most of it is that where the psalmists are calling to God and crying and begging and pleading for Him to hear my cause. Oh God, fight with them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler. Stand up for my help. Yes, we hear a lot of that in the psalm. So, Sister Winsome, Sister Cod, you got that one right. So here we are. Sister Aurelis, not everybody at the ballpark tonight. Sister Aurelis got a total of 21 points. Cod came in with 6. Sister Winsome with 4. Andre and Desiree with 1 apiece. Sister Arlise did not come to play tonight. She was not joking. She was not joking, and she was definitely not smoking. Yeah, she came with a fierce determination to win tonight, and that is exactly what she has done. So guys, let's congratulate Sister Arlise on her 21 points. Thank you so much, Sister Arlise, for participating. Also, Sister Desiree came in. Sister Andrea, Winsome, Cod, Joseph was here, AG was here, AP was here. Who else was here? Several other people were here. I want to say thanks to you all so much for coming. Oh, you've been reading. Wonderful. Wonderful. Sister Arlie said she's been reading. Wonderful, my love, because certainly, guys, we have to read this Bible, We have to read this Bible because if we don't read it, we are doomed. If we don't read it. Why I say that? Even though by reading the Bible we have understood that the Bible was written, especially where we are at now in the Old Testament, the Bible was written from the perspective of the descendants of Jacob. The laws that were given to them. The rest of the world was left out. The laws, the commandments, the ordinances, everything was given. All the rules of their God was given to them. And so the other people, they went ahead and they fashioned for themselves their own gods out of wood and clay and gold and silver, whatever. They made themselves a molten image and called it their God, and they prayed to it, and they worshipped it. And the children of Israel, they worshipped a God that they couldn't see. Their God was the one who created heaven and earth, the one who spread the heavens all over the earth, the one who caused the seas to stand still, the one who caused the rivers to dry up. You understand? But I also, but always, Sister Arlise, you are not alone. We really, and we have so many questions, my love. So many questions. It is unbelievable. Yes, we read and we got questions. And then we got to go search some more and find answers to those questions. And while finding answers to those questions, we get another. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Okay. Yes. The questions are always going to be there because you see, the Bible is not like written in chronological order. And so when you are reading one part of the Bible, you may not understand it simply because you may not have read the referring text, which could be in several books further on or behind. And so that's why the Bible sometimes is confusing, because the people who compiled it, they gathered together and determined which writings and whose writings were worthy of being put in this book. And so some people's writings were left out because, as I said before, if they had ever decided that they were going to put every single Jewish person's writings in the Bible, it would take eons for us to finish reading it. So they were very selective in what they put in. And I don't know what was the criteria they used as to what came in and what stayed out. But this is how they did it. And so that is why we have found a lot of confusion, because some of it is just a random chapter that was taken out of somebody's writing, and they just stamp it right there. And when you are reading, you will get confused. Me confused all the time. I mean, like, what is? I don't know. When me I say, I don't know all the time, but me still keep going, and I still read it because I want an understanding of it, and I want to know that I have read it and I have paused and I have tried to understand rather than just what I'm saying? Rather than just call the words and keep moving. All right. So you're not alone, Arelise. Okay, guys. So, guys, that's where we are going to come to the end. Me no know if somebody did my this, somebody a holler me down, so you know, brother. You understand? I do not. I just want to say thanks to everybody who came into the live. I sincerely appreciate you. Appreciate you all. I got something I gotta go work on to be able to enhance my channel. Somebody's gonna help me with something. So um that's why he texting me over and over. So I got to run, my people. I thank you all so much again. I hope you all enjoyed the quiz as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Let's congratulate Sister Arlise again for coming in with 21 points. Congrats, Sister Arlise. We sincerely appreciate you, my love. And everybody else who participated, Sister Andre and Desiree and everybody else. I sincerely appreciate you guys. But that's where we are going to end it for tonight. When we come back, I'm gonna say in the morning because I gotta go take care of this. Maybe in the morning. When we come back in the morning, we come back with our Bible reading and our novel. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me for now. Until next time, this is from Travascence, where your journey matters. Sister Arlie said, I love when we all come together. Yes, when we all come together, we can bounce ideas off of each other, and it helps us some more to garner some more clarity. It does. Um, but we will gather again tomorrow morning, okay, when we will continue reading. All right, guys, have a great night, everybody, and I will see you all in the morning.